All right, in this video, I'm going to give you some really cool, actionable advice about how to get that editorial look within your emails, that editorial style and structure within your creative. So if you're an agency owner and you're having brands that are becoming increasingly unhappy because you're not nailing the aesthetic or elevating the aesthetic, this video is going to be for you. And of course, if you're a brand owner and you're wondering why you're going through agencies, or perhaps you've got good agencies, but they haven't been able to quite nail the creative vision you have for your brand over email. I'm going to give you a bit of context as to why, then I'm just going to run you through how to do this and step-by-step advice on how to pull this off in your email creative, all of the tips and tricks, principles to follow. Everything's going to be included within this one, so it's going to be helpful. Before I jump in, my name's Sean Miller, and I'm one half founder of the agency Oraseed. I run it with my other business partner, who's also called Sean. We work with around 35 e-commerce brands on a consistent sort of monthly basis at this point. Been doing this for 4 years. Sean came from one of the biggest D2C agencies in the UK, even owned his own e-com brand, and I worked within marketing and consumer psychology for the last 10 years as well. So between us, we've got some cool experience. But the reason I really think I'm qualified to talk about this one is because I just seem to attract brand owners who have a real high creative standard for what their emails want to look like. So, and I've really got an aesthetic eye. I really, I definitely have the left brain and right brain thing going on. I really, really appreciate creative. And in turn, I think one of the things we've done at Oraseed is be really, really particular with the design team that we hire and really, really aware of emerging design trends within email marketing as well. And this is one of the key details here. So I think over time, I've really been able to learn how to articulate what makes good design, how to improve design, because oftentimes we don't actually have the language or the skills to really know what we're looking for in our email design. And I think this can hurt a lot of agencies because they don't really know what their brand owners are looking for. But in turn, the brand owners need to, if you're a brand owner, you need to be able to maybe articulate better to your agency what you're looking for so you can really then start to get the emails that you've sort of been dreaming of but haven't been able to quite bring into reality. Now, there's a real emerging trend where a lot of fashion brands or luxury brands or homeware brands want this sort of editorial style uh, aesthetic within their emails, not the conventional D2C email marketing formula, which is, big hero image, header, subheader, CTA, centrally aligned, product blocks, etc. Of course, there's a lot of flexibility and a lot of creative freedom you have within that formula, but it's still a formula. And the editorial style that a lot of brands are looking for, and I'm going to run you through examples, is its own art. And I don't see it being talked about enough, so I want to give you the exact principles that go into making your emails look editorial. So if you have a brand who wants editorial style emails, this is exactly the kind of thing you need to be doing. And if you're a brand owner, again, send this video to your agency, to their designers, and this will get them in check. So why editorial emails? Why editorial matter in emails? So most e-commerce emails today are flat, templatized, and transactional. And they do the job, but they don't leave a mark. Editorial design take inspiration from magazines, from galleries, from coffee table books, interior design books, etc. So instead of feeling like a sales flyer, your emails start to feel like a story or publication. So this is the difference between meh inbox scroll and an email that actually makes people pause, makes people open, and makes people click. So when your emails feel elevated, two things happen. You get higher engagement because people actually stop, read, and click on the email because the design is visually rewarding. And two, you get better brand equity. So emails start to build your taste profile. You're not just pushing discounts. And this is when people actually start to want to read your emails. This is where people actually reference your emails as a creative reference. That's a really cool thing. Like when we onboard brands, we ask what newsletters do you follow and what newsletters do you love? You want to get your emails to a point where people say your brand or the brands that you're working on. Now, actual editorial style, the good news is it's been an art direction for the last decade, last century, I would actually say. Um, and there's, you can really look into this philosophy here because oftentimes email marketing design has been done in a certain way for so long. You need to remind or revise or actually educate yourself on what editorial design actually is. And sometimes all you need to do is just look at loads of different examples. So you can get kickers, you get bold headlines, you get a lot of white space, you get you get big images, you get bylines, etc. You get pull quotes, you get doodles. There's so many cool things that you can do here. But the best thing you can do for inspiration is just make yourself mood boards. Start to look at editorial style magazines and go, okay, that's what we're going for. We're looking at our email more as art direction and a narrative, an artistic narrative, than just the same old e-commerce structure. Now, not every brand that you work with or not every brand requires this, but for a certain brand, it just looks incredible, and it's really going to be a way to help you stand out in 2025 and especially going into 2026. And not a lot of agencies have cottoned on to this, nor have the ability to do it. So hopefully you're an agency and you're learning how to do this. So let's go into some principles of editorial email design. So here are the pillars to guide your creative team. And of course, I've got some cool examples to add some visuals to this. So typography is art, is big. So I've added just two different types. So mixed serif and sans serif for tension and contrast. You want to use oversized headlines and pull quotes and magazine style title cards. So the whole idea is just playing with size with your type. So like one word's big and one's really like petite and really delicate. So having like bold type contrasted with really small type and then different typographies as well. So have like 3 or 4 different types that you can play with. That's just going to get you looking editorial straight away. I mean, if I'm to zoom in here on this guy, straight here, big bold here, big bold here, 2 different types, 2 different types, 2 different types, another type here as well. You start to get the picture, and there's plenty more examples of that later. So don't just treat your type as labels anymore. Treat it like as part of the design itself. Like sometimes just having big confident headers and then having little daintier pieces to copy and type. This interplay between large, small, and different fonts is really going to start to give you that look. Look at Flamingo Estate's email. I'm going to share with them a little bit later, but they're a master of that. So B, you want to play with scale and asymmetry. So you want to balance oversized hero images with smaller, delicate ones. You want to break the grid. So let one image bleed across the edges and another feel like a cutout. So like cutout collages. This is a good example of this here as well. Overlaying things in an interesting way. Don't have a predictable symmetry to things. This is a great way to keep the eyes moving and add depth. So like editorial spreads where one page is full bleed photography and the other has smaller curated images. And I think we could even come up here as well. You can imagine one big full page and then smaller collage curated images. So like that's a good principle as well. A curated image here, and then like a big full page one. So that's a great sort of concept to get your designers playing with as well. C, so layering and texture. So you want to use subtle film grain, shadows, frosted overlays, or even hand-drawn doodles. I'm sure you've seen brands where, let's go have a look at a few emails here. So hand-drawn doodles. This is a nice collage cutout. This works really, really well. You see the asymmetry here. So one big image, one big image and then curated little cutouts here and there. Loads of curated cutouts overlaid with product images here. I haven't got any examples of hand-drawn doodles here, but I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. This is an email we did. I mean, look at the type play here, and the overlays with the cutout images and the cutout lifestyle images. The type play here again, the overlays and the transitions between sections. It's almost unpredictable in a sense, but it's artistic, and this is what editorial style is all about. So if we go up a little bit more, I'm sure you know what I mean when I say hand-drawn doodles. It's when you like annotate things and like you can label little things, for example. I think if we come here, I want to find a really good example of this for you. I mean, if we actually zoom in here, that would be a good example of it here. So like we've actually referenced like what that flower is. You could have like a little arrow here. Again, just adds detail. Just want to make sure you can see that. Adds detail here. Okay. Cool. Creative depth, so foreground, midground, background. Again, you can see that being played out within a few of these examples here, which is really, really important. and avoid flat canvas style blocks. This is the big one. So if any of your agency, if the brand owner is saying like your email designs look flat, this is how you start to make things not look flat. You make things overlay from sections. You have intriguing balance and sequencing to your email. Flat just means it's all centralized, all going down in a straight line, and there's just no texture or depth to things as well, and there's no overlays in any way. Because when you overlay, you give perception, you give depth. Like it's, I'm sure when you're a kid in school, you got to talk about how the eye perceives depth, and then when you're drawing, like you have depth perception. You want to be trying to do that within email as well to make it look three-dimensional at times. So that's a big one. Um, White spacing and breathing room. So this is a big one. These are all, I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit here so you can actually see them. Bear with me. So these are some ones from Flamingo Estate here. So white spacing, obviously a big one. If you go here as well, white spacing and like lots of space is obviously a big one as well. So play with space. Don't be afraid of empty space is definitely a big pillar here. So you want to resist the urge to cram everything in. You want to give elements space so they feel curated, not crowded. And editorial design, what did I even write there? There we go. Editorial design is as much about what you leave out as much. Editorial design is as much about what you leave out as you put in. So this is a big one as well. So here's some really cool ideas: human and imperfect touches, so handwritten notes, sketches, annotation, or candid photography. These remind the reader that the real people are behind the brand and there's personality. This is a big one. Like a lot of brands feel very industrial now, so you want to add a lot of personality here. And here are some practical trends to leverage. So here are three current trends that add that editorial polish when used well. So glass morphism, I spoke about that on my Instagram recently, and frosted layers. So blurry backgrounds like translucent overlays and depth effect. Let me see if I've got any examples here. I'll put some in at some point. I'll go just type down glass morphism, email marketing. You're going to find some really cool examples there. Maximalist collages, set active. That's a great example of a maximalist sort of collage. You can even use that in the hero. Looks really, really good. Same here. And it makes it feel handsome, personal and full of story. It's really, really cool. It adds taste. And this is the key detail here. You really just want to look like you've got taste in how you've curated your email marketing and how you've curated your design. And 3D floating elements as well. And 3D floating elements as well. That's a really, really cool one. So how to go from flat to editorial. So here are like 5 questions that you can go through. Like, does this email feel like it could be a page from a high-end magazine? Simply put. Am I using typography as a design feature, not just an afterthought? Is there depth, texture, or layering, or does it feel flat and boxy? Is there a mix of scale, or does everything feel evenly weighted? And would someone enjoy looking at this email even if they didn't buy today? That's like a key question to ask yourself. Like, if they weren't, this is something I think so many email marketers get wrong. They're like, if someone's not ready to buy, they're not going to buy from your email. It's like, yeah, okay, but every email you send is a brand impression and it's like an investment in the mind share of your audience. So if you're sending really, really cool emails, like it's gonna put a coin in that jar of brand connection and brand and community and a relationship with your brand. So if people really, really enjoy looking at your emails, when it comes to buying a flower, I'm gonna go, oh, whenever I signed up to GoFlower, they always just said really, really elegant, cool, and interesting looking emails. So now when I want to buy my fiance or a friend some flowers, I'm gonna go to them because like they stand out every time. Like they're a cool brand and I want to be associated with it. So it's so key. Why this matters for performance as well, because I see a lot of email marketers online saying how sexy designs don't relate to performance, and that's just so short-sighted. I couldn't disagree more. And I think a lot of that is just avoiding needing to require developing design language and actually hiring the right design team. So if you're an agency owner, don't avoid that. Just hire awesome designers, talk, say, do you know how to design editorial emails? Cool. Look at their email catalog. If they're really, really good, give them a few creative tests and hire them. That's what's really, really important. Just have a standard. A common objection is, will this design actually perform? And the truth is, performance and creative are two sides of the same coin. So if you're looking at something, you're more likely to read it. More reads equals more clicks equals more people entering your CRO engine, which is then the website and the product pages, which equals more sales. Then it's kind of out of our hands as email marketers. So tips for teams and agencies. Collect references. So the better your mood boards and visual language, the better your team can execute. So don't say make it cool. Show them Flamingo Estate, Kin Euphorics, or Jack Humans. Like, these are really, really cool ideas. These are all really cool brands as well. Set Active, Same, like that brand Same's really, really nice as well. So collect that from your brand owner. Start to speak that language internally with your team if you're an agency, and if you're a brand owner, speak this language with your agency, and the agency should understand it as well. If not, send them to this video. Hire for taste, not just skills. So a designer with taste will elevate your brand 10 times more than one who only knows the tools. So someone who just does email marketing design versus, like, we've got so many designers here who are like artists in their own right. They love creative, they love aesthetic. Like, this is what agencies need to be hiring for these days. Like, email marketing design from the courses of 4 or 5 years ago is just dead in the water. Like, and it always was just like, it works, but the high-end brands that we work with, that just doesn't cut it. So hire for taste, not just skill, and encourage play. So structure, module tested layouts, give guardrails, editorial experimentation, give life. And if you're an agency owner, what I'd say is, like, don't, like, if your agency can't get this right within a week or two and like can't get it perfect for you, like, don't kick them out, because like if you invest a month into them, then like they're going to be the only people that you can trust with your creative, which is just a massive investment. Like, no matter who you hire, you're going to have to go through this teething pain with. So I really recommend, like, don't rush this. Have patience, but also have the aligned goal of what you're looking for creatively. This is how you start to get those emails, which are just like, bam, that brand is crushing it. Like, that's what you want. So a final word from me is, design is the pillar most agencies overlook in email marketing, like, truly, especially with the standards of the brand owners I work with. But it's also why clients leave many agencies and come to Oracy. That the amount of times, here's a secret, I shouldn't really be sharing it, but one of the things that we do that no other email marketing agency is doing, guarantee a load of people are going to steal it now, is we offer all of our brands a free email creative before they even sign up with us. And honestly, it just closes all of our deals because it's so good what we send them. And when your emails feel like brand art instead of brand noise, you don't just make sales, you actually build loyalty, you communicate taste and aesthetic, and you build an emotional connection with your audience. Editorial designs is how you stop looking like every other brand in the inbox. It's one of the key trends at the moment, and there's not enough conscious competence around this, because a lot of people who got into email marketing don't come from like a publication background or an editorial background. So there's not an overlap in skills here, but then there needs to be. So I want to start this conversation. So hopefully this video goes a long way. Here are some emails, some we created, some we didn't. Here's a real secret as well. This is like a big secret. So what you can start to do is create your own ChatGPT channel, use ChatGPT 5, plug in the kind of brands that you're looking for aesthetically for a benchmark. So let's say it's Flamingo Estate. Copy and paste your email, put it into ChatGPT and say, like, does this email look flat? How would you elevate it to make it look more editorial and more like a Flamingo Estate email? So, like, here's some feedback we had on one of our emails. We only did this a week ago, and it was like, why it feels flat, safe layout. The design follows a very standard e-commerce layout. Hero, product shots, copy block, CTA. Nothing breaks the rhythm or surprises visually. So it's like, cool. So we want to break rhythm and surprise visually. Like, that's awesome. And now you can actually start to speak that language. Flamingo Estate often plays with an unexpected cropping, asymmetry, laying, and negative space. Again, like, this is gold. So lack of depth and texture. Everything sits on a flat background, solid navy or gradient. Flamingo Estate adds richness with grain, shadows, collage elements, or layered texture that feels tactile. And it goes on and on and on. And then we go, what could you tweak to elevate this email? Add texture and more depth. Editorial typography. So experiment with oversized pull quotes or sans serif pairing. Use type to tell a story and not just deliver info. Image cropping and pray. This is really good. So crop flowers closer, show texture, detail, water droplets, overlap images with text or bleed them beyond the grid. Asymmetry and negative space, color and mood. So use ChatGPT to develop your own design feedback capabilities internally at your agency. And if you're a brand owner as well, and again, you're wanting to give good feedback to your agency because you need to, like a great agency brand relationship is a dance. It's a relationship, it's 50-50. You can use this ChatGPT system as well to give better feedback more effectively and get the results that you want. So hopefully this video was helpful. I'm going to be dropping way more content now, like 3 times a week through YouTube, more in this style because this just suits me and my way of delivery. If you want more visual and sort of like short form dopaminergic content, get me on LinkedIn as well, Sean Thomas Miller. And if you want a free audit, we offer the internet's best email marketing audit. I noticed again because honestly, brands come from agencies who are doing like 10 million a year, 10, 50 million a year. And they say consistently that my audit is the best audit they've ever received. So that's pretty good feedback. We've also got a unblemished Trustpilot record where we've only got 5-star reviews. So what we'll do is we'll give you that audit for free. We'll give you a free email creative mock-up for free. We'll send it all over to you. And if you like it, let's continue on the conversation. So there'll be a link below to booking that call. 50 minutes is all I need and we can get that process going. And otherwise, just give me a follow, give me a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.